You can publish the best posts on LinkedIn and you can follow all the engagement hacks that you've been taught. But if your profile isn't engineered for visibility, you'll never get noticed. And I don't mean surface level stuff like your profile photo or your headline. I'm talking about the section that most people overlook. And it's one that LinkedIn's algorithm actually uses to decide whether you're credible enough to show up at all. Hi, I'm AJ Mises, a former HR executive from Meta, and after coaching thousands of people to land six-figure jobs with their dream companies, today I want to show you how to create a LinkedIn profile that actually gets traction. When we talk about optimizing a LinkedIn profile, most people think about the basic stuff. So they upload a professional profile picture, they write a headline that's 220 characters, they add the right skills, the right job history, but they make a huge mistake while filling in their About Me section. You see, most people treat their About Me section like a cover letter, or worse, like a personality profile. And they talk about how they're passionate about innovation or that they're a seasoned professional who thrives in dynamic environments. But none of that gets indexed. LinkedIn isn't interested in your adjectives, it's interested in your signals. And that's because the algorithm ranks you based on how relevant you appear to active job searches or client needs. And the About Me section is one of the few parts of your profile that's fully indexed for keywords. This means that what you write in those few paragraphs either makes you more searchable or erases you from recruiter results entirely. And that's why you need to treat your About Me section as SEO for your career. It's not the place for your life story. It's the place to mirror the exact words that recruiters and hiring managers are typing into LinkedIn's search bar, because that's what determines your placement in their search results. This section, it acts like a relevance scanner, and it's ranking you on how clearly you match your known roles, your outcomes, and your specialties. So instead of a vague passion statement, you need to front load the first 3 lines of your About section with the most searchable role-specific keywords. Those first 3 lines are all that show up before someone clicks See More. And if those lines don't scream, I'm what you're looking for, they're going to scroll past. So here's how to write those lines in a way that forces the algorithm and your future boss to stop and pay attention. So you want to start by identifying 3 to 5 job titles or client roles that you want to be discovered for, and then reverse engineer the exact phrasing used in those roles. Instead of writing strategic thinker, I want you to write growth marketer for B2B SaaS companies. Or instead of team player, you could write led onboarding flow redesign that reduced churn by 18%. So use the problem, action, outcome format. So for example, I help e-commerce brands reduce churn by 22% through retention audits and LTV analysis. Next, define your niche in plain English. So avoid corporate jargon. Don't say that you're a results-oriented, cross-functional operator. Say, I fix broken revenue systems for startups trying to scale. Then name drop who you want to attract. And this tells the algorithm and the reader who your profile is for. So you could say something like, if you're scaling a DTC or B2B SaaS company, here's how I can help. And finally, close the section with a soft call to action. You don't need to sell, just create a human connection. So it could be, DM me if you're tackling any of the above. I love building momentum with sharp teams. But even when you get the keywords right, there's still a deeper layer, because if your story doesn't prove your expertise, the algorithm knows it and punishes you for it. You see, even the most optimized profile sometimes fails if it doesn't prove that you walk your talk. And this is the part that nobody tells you. LinkedIn weighs your credibility across the entire profile. And if there's a mismatch between what you claim in your About section and what your past roles show, your visibility plummets. Say you position yourself as a growth strategist, but your experience only shows vague roles like project manager with 0 metrics or outcomes. The algorithm is going to assume that you're bluffing. And worse, recruiters do too. Even the right buzzwords are not going to save you if your story lacks proof. The algorithm is asking one fundamental question. Does this person actually do what they say they do? And if your About section doesn't back that up with a claim that's tangible, that has evidence, it quietly pushes your profile down below people who do. So structure your About section like a mini case study. Keep in mind that you're writing to convince them, and that means shifting from storytelling to evidence. Proof earns trust, and trust is the currency of high-quality opportunities. So start with one sharp sentence that clearly states your value proposition. And this should answer, what do I do better than most? So for example, I build customer lifecycle strategies that drive retention and long-term revenue for B2B SaaS companies. Next, layer in 2 to 3 high credibility proof points. So be specific and use real numbers. So for example, launched retention strategy that cut churn by 18% in under 6 months. Grew MRR by 420,000 through sales funnel overhaul and go-to-market restructure. Or built RevOps framework for 3 Series A startups, each of which raised follow-on funding within 12 months. And then be recognizable. So you don't need to name drop unless you can, but you do need to show relevance. So you could say something like, Work with teams at Stripe, Nestle, and 12 early-stage startups across health tech and logistics. Or partnered with execs across EMEA, APAC, and North America to scale multi-region ops. You want to strike a balance here. You want to show range but stay on theme. And if you've worked across functions or industries, link it back to your specialty and don't ramble. So for example, you could write, I've scaled bootstrap startups from $0 to $10 million, restructured orgs during crisis pivots, and mentored 50+ junior hires into management roles, all within ops, growth, and product. Format matters too, so avoid walls of text. Use short paragraphs or even bullet-style structure because that's the best way to read it. You want the reader to skim and remember and not get fatigued. And finally, kill the cliches. Team player, self-starter, hardworking, those words do nothing. They're filler. Instead, focus on transformation. So what did you change and what was the result? So now you've got clarity and proof. You're telling the algorithm, here's who I help and here's how I've done it. But that's still not enough because there's one final thing. Recruiters don't hire your past, they hire your future. I mean, when was the last time you updated your about section to reflect the next version of your career? Because what I see over and over, especially from experienced professionals, is a profile that reads like a greatest hit album from 5 years ago. It's all backward looking, where they've been, what they've done, the titles that they've held, but neither recruiters nor algorithms really care about your origin story unless it connects directly to the problems that they're solving right now. The LinkedIn algorithm favors recency, and so do decision makers. They want to know, are you active? Are you current? Are you solving today's challenges? And if your About Me section sounds like it was written during your last job search, it gets ignored. So make your About section a prelude to your next chapter. You're setting the stage for where you're going. Your future employers, your clients, and collaborators, they all want to know what it looks like working with you today. We're just getting into the strategy here, but maybe you've already realized that your profile has been costing you visibility or traction for years. So if you want to keep learning how to game the algorithm the right way and land the roles that you're actually excited about, tap subscribe right here because I'll help you stay one step ahead. Now, stop framing your past experience like a timeline. You heard me say that before. Don't say 10 years in operations. Say, I'm applying 10 years of ops leadership to help climate tech startups scale with lean teams and resilient systems. Then state your current obsession. It could simply be the problem that you're laser focused on solving today. And that's what creates magnetic positioning. So try something like, right now, I'm focused on helping go-to-market teams cut acquisition costs by fixing broken retention loops. Now, show that you're embedded in the space. Show that you're not just an outsider exploring this field. You're an insider and you're inside the conversation. So you could say, I work with CPOs, go-to-market leads, and founders to identify friction points before they turn into churn. Use present tense, active language. So instead of I've worked with, say, I build, I lead, I drive. This tells both the reader and the algorithm that you're in motion. And finally, be direct about your direction. I know, kind of funny, right? But leave no ambiguity about what you're open to. So say something like, I'm currently exploring strategic revenue operation roles within Series A to C B2B SaaS companies focused on customer retention and LTV growth. This makes your profile feel alive and relevant and aligned, and it tells people who you are becoming. And that's what recruiters and clients really want. They want the version of you that they can plug into their future right now. By now, you've probably realized that you don't need more effort. Instead, what you need is a strategy. And that's exactly what I teach inside my company at The Human Reach. I've helped thousands of professionals land roles that they once thought were out of reach at companies like Tesla, Pixar, Stripe, by getting laser specific about how they present themselves. Whether you need a new job right now or you want to pivot into a higher paying role, or you're leading a team and ready to crush your next promotion, I'll give you the exact strategy that I've used with executives and high performers. So tap the link in the description or on your screen right now to book a free consultation with our team right now. We'll talk to you soon.